Around a month ago, getcracked abruptly stopped supporting free users on the platform. And as a free user, and most notably the rank 1 user on getcracked, I was probably one of the most impacted people by this change. Now, although at the time of recording I'm still rank 1, I expect this to change in the near future as I'm unable to solve any questions and thus maintain the gap between me and my competitors. Being someone who somewhat actively used the site and unwilling to purchase subscriptions for it, I looked for substitutes to getcracked, specifically the coding question section, via other platforms that offer a similar subset of problems asked by interviews. No DSA, just pure implementation and real-world applicable problems. But I seriously couldn't find anything just like it. And as I kept looking for ways to skip the payment page, thinking maybe it was a bug on my account, I realized it was hopeless, that I'd never be able to do these unique kinds of questions on a platform like this ever again. Okay, listen, I get it, right? It costs a lot of money to maintain a platform, especially one of the scale of getcracked. So if someone who built this out of the goodness of his heart gets nothing out of it, it would be a huge shame. Admittedly, the platform has helped many, including myself, and I'm truly thankful for that. But the only reason why I still used the platform was because it was free and had implementation coding questions, a completely different skill set that most other questions do not test. So when it threw up its paywall, it felt like a sizable part of a relatively regular training regimen suddenly disappeared. Naturally, I did the only thing a sane, well-adjusted member of society would do and went on Reddit and Discord servers to doom post and send hate to CJ. Seriously, some people actually went out of their way and did this. What I actually did was I saw that there was suddenly a demand for such a platform, so I thought, why not just build my own? After all, a majority of these companies have started to ask implementation questions rather than DSA. And thus, I began construction on a platform that focuses on these types of questions. But what is an implementation question? It's simply a question that focuses more on your development skills rather than the memorization of a certain pattern or concept seen before. Take, for example, Coco's eating bananas on LeetCode. With an absurd problem statement and a ridiculous scenario, this would never be something you'd ever encounter on the job. And recently, it's turned out that these types of questions are also seldom encountered in interviews too. This is a prime example of a question that forces you to memorize a pattern rather than actually learning anything from solving it. Meanwhile, a problem like implementing a decision tree tests your ability to follow instructions, navigate edge cases, and precisely code out an extremely useful structure that will aid you in future development tasks. And for those who can't even get their foot in the door yet, some of these problems are designed to turn into real resume-ready projects, the kind that will actually signal something to the companies you're applying to, letting them know that this person knows how to build this thing. On this platform, you'll be building out real systems rather than just a simple toy function. Edge cases aren't directly spelled out for you. When you miss one, the feedback tells you where you failed, the same way an interviewer would. Your score upon submitting a solution reflects how good it is. Slow solutions get punished, and clean, efficient ones rise to the top. The leaderboard shows you exactly where you stand compared to your peers, and maybe one of you will take the number 1 spot. Upon submitting a correct solution, you can contribute it both in the Solutions tab or through our Discord server, link in the description. If a solution somehow passes the spec but isn't actually correct, after all, my tests are not omnipotent, other people can call it out. That kind of feedback loop matters because interviews don't stop at "it just passed the tests." You can also see how other people solve the same problem, which is honestly one of the most valuable parts, getting exposed to completely different ways of thinking about the same question. There's no need to stop doing LeetCode or Codeforces, and if you've already purchased getcracked, there's no rush to cancel it either. These are all useful tools, they just optimize for different things. Getcracked, especially its coding platform, is much more heavily skewed toward quant-style problem solving. Meanwhile, my platform is meant to be more general, with a focus on implementation-heavy questions that show up across both software and quant interviews. Again, I repeat, it is not meant to be a replacement. It's meant to complement them, by preparing you for the implementation-heavy questions that actually show up in real interviews. It is built for a completely different kind of interview prep. Getcracked is, albeit great at what it does, but not everyone is looking for the same style of problems. If you want more hands-on implementation-heavy questions, my platform might be a much better fit. The platform isn't public yet, but if you're interested, join the Discord server. That is where I'll be sharing updates, progress, and opening things up as it gets closer to release. And once it does release, I urge you all to check it out, because there are tons of other useful features on the platform that I have not described in this video explicitly. And finally, before I wrap this up, I just want to say thank you to everyone for all of the support on the previous video. It really means a lot to me. It has admittedly been a while since my last upload, and this follow-up is definitely long overdue, but I'm glad I finally got to make it. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.